The car just rides like a spaceship. When I get in it, sometimes the suspension goes up and you hit this wheel, so you literally feel like you're like empowered. I feel empowered.
Hey guys, Kim Java here. Today we are taking a look at this refreshed Model S. It is Tesla's new flagship car, and we're meeting with an owner who actually was one of the first owners on the East Coast, so she has the most experience with this Model S, and we're gonna find out all about it, the good, the bad, the ugly. Jetta is one of the first people in the world to take delivery of the refreshed Model S, and almost certainly the first in the southeastern US when deliveries began in late July of this year.
Cool. I love this yoke. I'm telling you, I didn't think I would. I thought it was like it's a guy thing, but I love it. At one point, I started to cancel just because I'm like, I don't know whether I'm going to like this yoke. It looks like a race car, but I actually love it. And when I drive my Mercedes with the whole wheel, it just feels like really awkward and uncomfortable.
Jetta's perspective is pretty unique, partly because this is her first EV, but also because she's coming from a premium German brand, a Mercedes.
I do miss the bells and whistles. My Mercedes, I have the ambient lighting. I like the lights inside of the car, and this car is very minimalistic. I'm a big music person, so the sound system in the car is just amazing. The entertainment, the things you can do while you're waiting at the supercharger. The seats are very comfortable. They're actually more comfortable than my Mercedes. The seats look better because they have this nice cranberry leather.
Jetta, who's a college professor and an IT engineer, told us the build quality in her Model S has been near perfect. No panel gaps, no loose pieces, and no rattles. But there are a few areas in the car that she thinks could use improvement, and it has nothing to do with the yoke. So I told Jetta that I want to hear all the good, the bad, and the ugly about this car, and I think it's important to say that you can love Tesla and still, have things that you want to change or see room for improvement. So hopefully people will be nice in the comments on here, understand that it's okay to have both. So I want her to show me all the things she loves, things that maybe she could see improvement on in the future. We're gonna see it all today, and I'm curious to see what you guys think in the comments below. So the big difference obviously with this car compared to any other Tesla or any other car in general is no stalks, yoke steering. Let's talk a little bit about that adjustment period. Like, how long did it take to get used to?
It did not take long at all. The biggest issue I have is when I make a 3-point turn in Atlanta. You got to kind of do it fast just because traffic is so bad. Sometimes my hand wants to go here and there's nothing here. So, but the yoke itself feels very ergonomic, and I didn't think I was going to like it. At one point, I started to cancel just because I'm like, I don't know whether I'm going to like this yoke, but I actually love it. And when I drive my Mercedes with the whole wheel, it just feels like really awkward and uncomfortable.
That's funny. That's one that I was wondering if that would be the case, is once you get used to this, switching back is like...
Once you get used to this, you're going to love it. It's going to be hard to go back to a full steering wheel. So the horn, I don't like this, because in a jam, if you're about to have an accident, to be able to funnel, it's not raised. So your hand has to go to the exact right spot at the right time, because, you have a very short period of time to react, and it's hard. I don't understand why the horn is not here. This little button makes no sense for a horn when it's so critical to avoid an accident.
Yeah, I've heard that from several owners.
Yeah, I just can't figure that out for the life of me.
So when you are turning right now, you have to actually press the turning and signal button. What was that like adjusting to that? I feel like that would be kind of a hard adjustment.
Oh, it's annoying. Yeah, I've gotten a little bit used to it. It's annoying because it would be less annoying if these buttons were raised.
Yeah.
But they're flat, which makes it worse, because you're fumbling like, oh, do I do here? Do I do here? Because you're trying to keep your eye on the road.
Right.
So it'd have been nice if these were raised. That took some getting used to. I think these buttons need to be raised at a minimum.
Yeah.
And the horn, definitely. If they do the software update, I'll be okay with that too. But I don't know how that will work. Like, will the software ever be smart enough to figure out that you want to blow the horn at somebody?
I think it could be.
You think so?
I think it will be. I think when we have FSD and it's driving for us. It's going to be talking to all the other cars.
Okay.
So before I came out today, I put on my Instagram and I said I'm going to go see a refresh Model S, and I asked for questions that people had. And one of the things people asked was, can kids play a game on here while somebody is driving? And the answer right now is no. I'm sure it's coming in a software upgrade, but you can see these are your only options right now. You control your heat, your air, music, and then you'll have these options right here. So I'm sure it's coming. People also wanted to know about the screen size, if it's good. Honestly, I think it's fine. It's very similar to a tablet, a smaller tablet. And I want to play a little bit more with this and figure out how the two systems work together or don't work together. If I press play, I don't hear anything right now. If you turn up your volume on there, does it?
What are we to make of the neighbor who brings us soup when we're sick?
So now we're hearing NPR, which is on her car, in addition to Coco Melon. So they're both playing at the same time through the speakers, which is a little bit weird. Interestingly enough, right now there isn't a way you can play the front media and the back media independently. So you either hear what the driver's listening to or what the rear passengers are watching. Or oddly enough, you can actually play both at the same time.
I don't want to hear what's going on back there, right?
Right.
Right now it's playing what's back there.
So we need to figure out if there's a way to do Bluetooth now. If you guys know, let us know in the comments below how to connect. If we can connect this to Bluetooth so that your kids can have headphones in and you don't have to hear it, because you're not going to want to hear that. All right. There has to be a way. So Jetta is going to let me drive the car around the lot right here. I can kind of see how I feel when I actually hold on to this yoke steering. Yeah. I'm nervous and excited. Before I go farther, I do want to take a few seconds and thank the Ridge Wallet for continuing to support this channel. So talk to anyone who owns these and they'll tell you that these are like the Tesla of wallets because of their modern and sleek design, and basically the opposite of your old bulky bifold wallets that just start to look so beat up and messy after a while. And they're just sexy wallet, and they have great build quality as well. So they can hold up to 12 cards each, plus cash, and they offer over 30 different colors and styles like this carbon fiber and the burnt titanium here. So Ridge is so confident that you guys will love your wallet as well that they'll let you test drive it for 45 days, and if you're not happy, you can send it back for a full refund. So check out ridge.com/KimJava and enter code KimJava for 10% off. Tap to activate drive.
It's telling you, yeah.
It tells you what to do. And then press to drive, okay? And it's telling me that we're going forward.
Yep, you got it.
I'm like, I don't know why, I'm like, it's so weird. It feels like you're in a video game at first, doesn't it?
It does. Does it feel like a spaceship to
it
you?
does.
Like a space
it really
capsule?
is
Like you're in something like that?
Now turning feels a little weird. It's so interesting. Like, now when you have to do a big turn like this, it's a little strange.
Yeah, it is, because it's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Because it's not round.
So it doesn't just like run through your fingers.
No, it does not. That's what I was trying to convey.
Yeah.
Run through your fingers very seamlessly.
And like turning like that. But then when you're just driving, like this feels really good.
Oh, it feels great.
I really like that.
Yeah.
But it's these turns, which I'll go over here and do
Yeah.
another big one.
Try to
so you can
turn.
kind of see it. That are a little weird. Okay, so. Yeah, that's like, that's a little weird.
See how it takes some getting used to?
Yeah. It almost is like, it doesn't slide. Okay, so, but just like a nice big wide turn is fine.
A nice big wide easy turn,
Yeah.
no problems. Anything a little bit more complex, that's where, it gets really awkward.
That's really interesting. Okay, so then I'm gonna turn, like these like sharper turns are a little weird. Like, I'm like, how do I hold this?
He like, what do I do?
That's so
It takes some getting used to.
It really takes some getting used to. I like the way it feels like driving straight and not having anything in front of you. It looks really cool.
Yeah, that's nice, having full access to the visibility to the dash.
See, like, so if I was to park it now, gosh, I'm like, and then, all right. So then if I want to reverse, how do I reverse? Just like this?
Yep.
Okay.
There you go. Give you your backup camera just like you have in your car. Yeah.
It's just like a little different, but you figure it out.
You figured out it's not bad, is it?
It's not too bad. So now I want to go forward.
You're
So
swiping up. Yeah.
I just swipe up. Okay. It's like I can get used to that. Here's another question I have. Is that sometimes I am known for leaving my turning signal on and not like turning it off, and it like will just keep going like that. Do you feel like that happens more or less with this car? It knows better.
They did a
to turn
software update that made it better. That made it turn, like what you're saying. You know, it's not blinking all the time.
I'm awful, especially with the Model 3.
I am too.
I leave it on, and I'm like, I've already turned, and
it's still blinking.
Whoever's sitting in my passenger seat is like, your blinker's still going.
They did an update. It was in the release notes. They made the turn signal know when you've already turned.
You've already turned.
Yeah, and it turns off.
And it's gotten better?
It's gotten better. It's not still perfect, but definitely gotten better.
It's so weird. Like
it is. That's what your hand is. You see how I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
your hand wants to reach for that top part when you're doing these complex turns.
And that's kind of why I wanted to drive around this parking lot, because I know there's a bunch of sharper turns.
Yes.
And I can kind of play with that.
You got a really good feel for how it is.
Do you most of the time keep your hands right
here? I do, or right here.
Or right there.
Yeah, that's mainly what I do.
Can you still do like a one-handed? Like you can't really like one-handed drive.
Sometimes I do, if it's not complex.
Right. Like what happens when I have
like
my
I would
coffee,
probably do a one-handed here.
Like I have my coffee in one hand, and then all of a sudden I really need to turn. I almost need to.
You got to do what you're doing.
Oh, I just accidentally hit a blinker.
See that's what. This is not the steering wheel. I love the designs of the controls.
Yeah.
Need to be much better.
Yeah.
Than what they are, because I've done that too before.
I feel like I need to practice, like learn my dance moves.
You'll get it in like a couple of days. It'll be like.
Yeah.
And you're going to love it. I mean, I love it much more than my Mercedes steering wheel.
The majority of the time, you're just driving like this.
Simple.
Making bigger turns. And
I
love the way this looks. I love not having something right here. That's really nice, really clean.
Jetta also made an interesting point that I think a lot of people new to Tesla may think as well.
Well, one of the things I was confused about when I first bought it and the Tesla community ate me alive, I thought autopilot FSD was full self-driving and the car was going to drive by itself. So me and a friend took it out thinking this thing is like going to drive by itself, and like, no, you got to keep engaging with the steering wheel.
Well, that's what the beta version, that's what they're doing their safety score for, and then you can get the beta version of the FSD.
Take your wheels off.
That will do everything for you, but they're only releasing that to people, I think at this point, that have a 99 and above.
Oh, 99.
And it's still in beta, so it's not like 100%.
It's not smooth, yes.
It's not smooth yet. You still have to be paying attention, but that is coming.
Will you guys trust it?
I mean, I definitely want to try it out.
Yeah, like me.
I'm gonna have my hands on the steering wheel.
I will too.
I think there's a lot of people that do think that the car can just drive like that, and they're like, "Hey, I can go out for drinks and not have to get an Uber and have
Well, you got YouTube showing you
it."
that they're doing that.
Yeah, and it is coming, but it's not there yet. So you were probably the first woman to take delivery of the refreshed Model S in, I would say, the Southeast.
Yes, I think I am.
So how has that been kind of coming into this Tesla community?
Yes.
Like, you know, obviously you have questions. This is your first time with the Tesla. You're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, on social media asking questions. How has the community been towards you?
Well, they have been very good when I, had my positive reviews on the car. When I have made recommendations about, different aspects of the car, they have not been so nice. Because I tweet Elon sometimes too, like everybody else does. Yeah. And he may reply, or he may see it and try to, do something with it. So yeah, the community overall has been good, especially the ones that are centered around women. But the Tesla community doesn't really like constructive criticism, should I say. Because I love Tesla. I'm a shareholder. I love the car. I love what they're doing. But there are areas of improvement that I would like to see.
Yeah, I think it's really important to be able to have that constructive criticism for things
Absolutely.
to be able
it makes
to improve.
the company better. So I don't
But-
understand why they, people don't
I know.
like it.
It's a weird thing how sometimes owners will tear other owners down. Since you've had it, have people like come up to you like at the supercharger stations or other Tesla owners?
Yeah, the supercharger station, I'm almost guaranteed someone's going to come up to me and ask me how do I like the car.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I think about it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And people in the parking lots too, because they see it, they know it's something different.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, that's a Tesla. Wow. Can I look in it? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll let you look in it.
What other questions do you guys have? Let us know in the comments below. Maybe we'll meet up with Jetta for a part 2, answer some more of your guys' questions. And we are so excited to be hopefully getting our Model X now in February. It's been pushed back another month, and we'll be able to play around with it and see the similarities and the differences between this refresh Model S and our refresh Model X.
Louder, I got advice from friends. It was like, they always told me, it's like, no, the Model S looks like you. Mm-hmm. Get the Model S. And I'm like, the pandemic just made me start to reassess my life. I'm like, life is short. Let me just go ahead and get it. That was basically what the camel that broke the straw. What do they say? The straw that broke the camel's back? That was it.
Yeah. YOLO.
Yeah, exactly. YOLO. You got it. That's exactly it. You only live once.